everyone, it's Emily, and today I'll be sharing all the games that I picked up in September. So as you probably saw in the thumbnail, there are quite a few games to go through, and I am excluding Trails from Zero, which I will be picking up tomorrow actually. So I'm planning to do a first impressions and also unboxing of the limited edition that should hopefully be arriving to me sometime this week. It's still in transit, so I'm not sure when it's going to show up. But anyway, let's get into it. First, I'm going to start with the Vita games. And so I ended up picking up two this month, one of them being a Zero Time Dilemma. So I feel like I've mentioned this multiple times on this channel that I've been really trying to prioritize picking up all the visual novels, especially the Zero Escape series on the PS Vita. So Zero Time Dilemma is the third installment of the trilogy, and I do hear that it is the weaker out of all three. I do have the second one on the 3DS, but I'm really trying to get that double pack with the first and second game on the Vita at some point. It's been kind of expensive. It's usually over $70, $75 that I've been seeing recently. So I'm either gonna have to give in and pay around that price or just wait to see if a better deal pops up. So the Zero Escape series was written and directed by the same person who made AI the Somnium Files, which I absolutely adored earlier this year. So I'm really excited to see where the roots of this sort of visual novel genre stemmed from with the Zero Escape series, and of course I've just heard countless great things about it. The other PS Vita title that I picked up this month was Tales of Heart R, and so I did share this on my PS Vita collection update video I released earlier this month, but I didn't really talk about this game. So this is a JRPG, and I picked this up for a pretty good price actually. I think I got it around $55, which I've been seeing kind of prices all over the board, usually around like $80 to $100. And originally I believe this was a GameStop exclusive, so there's not a ton of copies floating around. I have yet to actually play a Tales of game. It's another series that has a very loyal fan base, and I've heard great things about it. I still plan on trying Tales of the Abyss on the 3DS first as my introductory to the Tales of series, but I wanted to snag this game while it was still priced reasonably well. So the Tales of series is known for this interesting active sort of combat system, and a lot of them are also well known for their storytelling and characters, so I'm really excited to see how this one shapes up. Next, I'm going to dive into all the Switch releases, starting with one that I recently received in the mail, and that is A Short Hike. So this is from Super Rare Games, and they are a limited distribution publisher based in the UK, and this is the first time I've ordered from them, and I haven't opened this yet, but I will do so because I'm very curious how their games are like. And so you get a sticker, and this looks like trading cards, so I'll open that in a moment. And then it also looks like we get some sort of map. So let me pull that out. Oh yeah, it is a map of, I guess, the island that you explore in this game. So that's pretty cool. Looks like one of those like national park sort of guides. And so because this is a UK-based publisher, it is of course PEGI. And I don't believe there's going to be a North American version. Usually Super Rare Games get exclusive rights to publishing games. So that's sort of why I hopped on this, and I've heard countless of good things about this indie title, from its really pretty sprite work to just the kind of fun exploration. So let's quickly share what it looks like inside. So this is one of the limited distribution companies that have a set number of games that they make beforehand and then put up for sale. So the standard copy here, I believe, was just limited to 6,000 copies. So I did sort of jump on this knowing that this is a very popular indie title, and its overall theme about hiking and exploration is something that I really gravitate towards. So I really wanted to try this and not miss out on this limited physical copy. So there are pros and cons of having the stock made before the sale, like Super Rare Games does. But the nice thing was that this came in the mail really quickly. So I think it took less than a month to arrive to me after placing my order. So this is much different from the open pre-order windows you see from the other companies, but this was very popular, so I think this sold out fairly quickly. So that's of course one of the downsides. So I was waiting for a little sale on the sequel to AI the Somnium Files, so I finally picked up Nirvana Initiative. this month with a nice little discount, and I'm really excited to play this. I wanted to play this before Trails came out, but as you see, it's still sealed. So I'm hoping to get it to this sometime next month. So I have checked out the trailers, and this mystery does evolve around something a little bit gruesome in that there's all these bodies that are sliced in half and placed in public areas. So a lot of the same characters from the previous one will be in this edition, and some of them slightly more grown up. So I'm just really excited for all the humor and puzzles and just great mystery in this sequel here. Now these last 3 Switch games are ones I picked up on Amazon Japan during my Shop With Me video that I did earlier this month. In that video, I didn't really go into detail about these games, so I will do that now. So this first one is the Ace Attorney trilogy that includes the first 3 games. So this is a very well-known visual novel experience that takes place in a courtroom. I've yet to play an Ace Attorney game. I do have the prequel on the Switch that I do plan on getting to at some point, hopefully sometime soon. But I wanted to pick this game up along with the other 2 Japanese titles just because of how much the Japanese yen has fallen recently, so they're a really good deal to pick up now. And you get all 3 games on the cart here in English, so this seems like the definitive way to play these games. So I'm really excited to get to these at some point. This next one is another visual novel, and I believe it is Hashiheim of the old bookstore town. And so this is not going to appeal to everyone because it is a yaoi or boys love visual novel. However, I hear a lot of these routes are really interesting in that it dives into some psychological horror and kind of dark themes. And I think a lot of these routes are also very platonic, so it's not really romance focused. So I'm really curious about this, and I've heard actually really good things just about the story in general. So there really aren't many English translated yaoi visual novels out there, so I wanted to give this one a try and see how it is. And then lastly, I wanted to pick up Oninaki here, which was published by Square Enix. And this is a RPG that deals with death and grief, and so a lot of the themes just really interested me. And I've seen some reviews of the gameplay, and I've heard it gets a little repetitive, but the gameplay looks really fun. So this is an action RPG where I believe you get to equip different demons to get different sort of attacking abilities. So I wanted to pick it up because it did interest me, and I think it's also becoming a little bit harder to get a hold of. I noticed on PlayAsia that they are out of stock, and there are very limited quantities available on Amazon Japan. So Square Enix is known to reprint especially popular titles, but I'm not really sure how popular this title was, so I wanted to pick this up sooner rather than later. These next 3 games were ones that I talked about in my last video where I reviewed Double Jump video games. So that includes these 2 DS Zelda games, as well as Gravity Rush 2 here. So I went into depth about the premise of these games, so I will just link that video if you haven't seen it yet, where I talk more about them, and also my experience of ordering from this online store that was new to me. Okay, we're down to the last 2 games, and these are both PS4 games. I've been saying for months that I've been wanting to concentrate on PS4 collecting because I think now is a really good time to start picking up these titles for good prices and before they get a little bit more difficult to find. So both of these I ordered off of Amazon for I think good prices. The first one is Nier Automata. So I decided to go with PS4 version over the upcoming Switch release for a few reasons, mostly because of performance. And the edition I picked up, the Game of the Year Urha edition, I might be saying that wrong. This comes with all the DLC, though I think the Switch version has additional like costumes or something. I don't think I tend to use a lot of costumes in video games, but anyway, if I do end up really enjoying the PS4 version here, I might double dip and buy it on the Switch too, just for that portability and depending on how the reviews go for performance issues and all that. But yeah, I'm really excited to play this. I've heard countless of good things from a lot of you, as well as just from my own research. There are a lot of interesting themes this game touches upon. How do they deliver the story also just really intrigues me with all the different gameplay and puzzle mechanics and all these other kind of hidden features that I've heard little whispers about. So I've been trying to go in with no expectations of plots or anything like that and try to go in as blind as possible. But yeah, I want to know what all the hype is about this game and finally get to play it. The other game that I picked up for the PS4 that I got really cheap on Amazon was the BioShock collection. It's another highly recommended game, and I played the first BioShock back in the day. I want to say, was that on the Xbox 360? I think my brother and I played that before. We had the Red Ring of Death experience. I'm not sure if I actually finished the original BioShock back in the day. I definitely played through some of it and watched a lot of it. So it'd be good to experience that again with better graphics. And I've heard really good things about BioShock Infinite when it comes to storytelling. So really interesting to see kind of how this series has changed over time. And I don't know too much about BioShock 2, but definitely I think the first two games are the ones that most people have been talking about for years, really. This is a collection that's also available on the Switch, but I went with the PS4 version because of the price, and I feel like the performance is going to be much better on here. I think also the Switch edition started giving out codes rather than carts, so it would be an empty box with a code inside, so I wanted to avoid all that and opt for the PS4 physical. Alright, so that's all the games I picked up for the month of September. I do again have Trails from Zero coming later this week, so I'll do a separate video for those. And I'll also be continuing my series where I talk about the games I played the previous month. So outside of finishing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, there are 2 other games that I've been playing that I haven't talked about yet on this channel. So I'm excited to chat about those and my experiences so far. So look forward to that video sometime probably next week. But yeah, let me know what some of your favorite pickups were for this month, and if there's anything that you're really looking forward to in October. I don't think there's any specific release coming out in October that I have pre-ordered. At the top of my head, I'm sort of forgetting what the October releases are, so I'm not really sure what I'll be picking up next month. I'm probably gonna just try to pick up a few more PS4 games, as well as some other games that are on my wish list that I haven't gotten around to yet. So if there's any new release coming out next month that you're really excited about, let me know that down below as well. And until my next video, bye guys.